Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel again. I'm glad that you're back. I hope you keep coming back. I'm planning to do at least one or two new videos every day, and because I got a lot to share and I'm super focused on helping business owners be minimalist, to be minimalist CEOs. So to me that means lowering overhead, lowering risk, lowering stress, increasing cash flow, and more than anything, helping your clients get the absolute best results, because when they get the best results, your business gets the best results and you'll be a lot happier, you'll sleep better, you'll probably be better looking, all that good stuff. So I'm glad that you're here, and oddly enough, I just actually recorded a video a lot like this with this topic, and I tapped the tiny little mute button on the bottom of my microphone, and then when I went to listen to see if it all came out for you, there was no audio. So I'm back. This one's going to be even better. And in this video, we're going to talk about, and I'm going to share in a very scientific, effective, and brilliant way, or just, it should be pretty good. I think this will help. I'm going to share in a helpful way how containing your enthusiasm will actually build your business, build your success, and attract more people to work with you. And I share this from experience, because if I look back, think about your enthusiasm. You get excited, you make a sale. And there's this container called, I just made a sale. I increased my revenue. I hit the holy grail of business because I keep making sales. I feel so good about it. I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to tell everyone. And then I'm going to go home and tell my wife. Or if you're a lady person, you might go home and tell your husband or call your husband, or you maybe tell people in your team or in your company, or you share, with a contractor or some specialist or an employee, all the good things that are happening. And you start sharing something that I call this big dream result. And so I did that when I started in business, and I think we've all done that. And there's nothing wrong with celebrating and being excited, but here's what happens. This really, I think, not so obvious, but distressing and counterproductive thing will derail your momentum and your success when you get too enthusiastic. Actually, it's not about getting enthusiastic. I think if you can contain your enthusiasm, that's when you win. So it's not just about not being enthusiastic. It's a different way of sharing your enthusiasm. And what you're going to learn in the time that we're in this video is, and that we're talking, sharing, you're not really talking to me, I'm more talking to you, but if you could think of the excitement of something, an idea, a breakthrough, something that you want to see happen to hit a goal in your business. So whether you're getting a new sale, or you found just the right team person, new marketing person to get you more leads, maybe you found a great manufacturing technique, or a new distributor, or a new overseas manufacturer, you've got a new deal on raw materials, I don't care what it is. Take that, and what you want to do is put it in a container. And again, I'm going to go through why their enthusiasm ruins the business, and I'm going to also go through 5 steps you can take to contain your enthusiasm and win in business. So here's what I want you to do. When you feel that rise, that rush of success, goal is achieved, or I'm really excited, I'm getting a new team member, or something great just happened, wrap that up in a container and see that as if you start to tell everyone about it with all this enthusiasm, what you're doing is you're taking the power that fuels a steam engine and you're letting it out. And then there's this track that you want to go down where you want to get your client great results, you want to give your business great results, you want to see something happen in the future, this big dream result, because of this exciting thing that's happened. You're projecting into the future, you want to see this happen, but there's a track. Think of it as a train track, and there's this container. That's the container on a steam engine. Now, when I read you the definition of a steam engine, you're going to think, oh my gosh, this totally makes sense. So what I want you to do is I want you to project that success and that energy and the joy and the wonderful feeling that you have, and connect it to your client's result. Connect it to the ultimate result. So maybe it's the result for your client, maybe it's the result for a goal in your business, whatever it is. I want you to look at the result for other people, the result for someone else. Not just your result of having the idea or getting a goal accomplished or making something happen. I want you to connect that to the result, the difference making that it's going to be for someone else. Now, for the most part, one of the biggest problems in business is needing more clients, wanting more sales, wanting to increase market share, wanting to have better cash flow velocity. So if you make a new sale, get a new client, get a new lead, a new marketing system is getting great results, take that enthusiasm and contain it and let it build and be excited and feel good. And then in your mind and all your being, picture the ultimate result coming true and connect that enthusiasm way down the track to where that result comes true. And then picture keeping the energy, building the energy inside that enthusiasm and putting it to work so you can actually go get the result. You don't confuse yourself and think that the celebration at the beginning is actually the victory. There's more to do. There's more things that have to happen. So real quick, let me give you an analogy, and maybe you can picture this. If you picture the steam engine, you picture the track, you picture your client getting better results. Well, let's use that as an example. Here's the definition of a steam engine. I brought it up on another screen. A steam engine is a heat engine that performs mechanical work using steam as its working fluid. The steam engine uses the force produced by steam pressure to push a piston back and forth inside a cylinder. So that steam is converted into work. It's pushing that piston back and forth inside the engine. And then that connects to a rod and a flywheel, and it actually moves the wheels of the train, and it moves that train down the track. So what happens when you take your enthusiasm and you don't contain it, you let the top off? Well, in the train, if you do that, it's not going to go down the track. That enthusiasm, that steam, that back pressure is not going to be converted into work. It's just going to be released. Therefore, you're not going to get the work done, or you're less likely to have the power to move down the track and build momentum. So I'll share an example. I've had a lot of enthusiasm in business. I remember back when I was a cartoonist. Now I'm a CEO mentor. I help business owners reduce overhead, reduce stress, and increase their cash flow. And I also help them hit goals in business by focusing on the 5 shifts that are essential as a minimalist CEO. So I'm not a cartoonist anymore, but when I started back in my teens, back in the 90s, I was running around with a box of Prismacolor markers and pencils. And I was in Londonderry, New Hampshire, and I remember walking in. I went to the mall, I went into gas stations, I went into businesses, I knocked on doors, private residences, and I said, you want to buy a caricature? Just like the guys at the beach or at the circus or at a party. You've seen them draw funny pictures. I used to do that, and I would put it on stationery, and I'd do a big picture or a small picture. I would do whatever I could sell. I went into a charter gas station, and this wonderful woman bought my caricature. She's like, I'll buy it. She gave me $40 for her, and then she gave me $40 additional dollars, so a total of $80 to draw her and her son and daughter. And she said, if you draw this for me, here, I'm just going to give you 3 photos. I put those photos in my bag. She said, I'll give you $80. I'll write you the check right now. I trust you. I know that you live in town, and just let me know when you'll get it done. And I put it in my folder. I put it in my bag. I put it in the car, and I can't even begin to tell you how excited I was to hit that goal. It was a huge goal. It was incredibly exciting. So I called everyone I knew, and I was elated. I was doing celebration dances. It was like my big dreams were coming true. I knew. I started multiplying out that sale times if I could have 10 or 15 of them a month. It would be easy to pay my $450 a month rent at the time. And on and on it went, where the more excitement I had, the more I wanted to share it. And here's what happened. I let all the enthusiasm out, and I was setting myself up for some problems. I wasn't getting prepared. I didn't schedule and make a promise for my client or for the person I was committing to, in this case for my client. And I actually believed inside that I already had such a victory. Like, I almost lost touch with the fact that there was work that had to be done. And Ryan Holiday, in his book, Ego is the Enemy, it was brilliant to hear him write about this. He talked about when you talk to yourself, when you celebrate, when you tell other people what you're going to do, you start to believe that some aspect of you has already done some work. And you forget about the work that actually has to be done. So let me go through 3 real quick examples, the reasons why enthusiasm will kill your business, and how you can. Then I'm going to share 5 steps real quick, and just in a few more minutes, how you can contain that enthusiasm. So the first reason that enthusiasm can kill a business is we project a dream result and we're avoiding the work that it's going to take to do it. And I'm going to use an example of a guy who owns a printing company. Really nice guy. And he spent tens of thousands of dollars to hire a marketing team to just, bring his business to the moon. He was so excited. He was talking to me about it. He was talking to everyone about it. And, months went by and he wasn't getting the results. He was spending a ton of money. It was hard to watch. And he said, "Can you help me?" And I said, "Well, the first thing you have to do is look at what's the work that has to be done to make that dream result come true. It can't just be a marketing team. What product are you going to make available? What's the results that you get for the client? Who's your target?" And there's a lot of work that had to be done to make sure. One thing that most people seem to miss these days with all this digital marketing and everything else, and write in the comments down below if you agree, that, you can't just market. You've got to actually have a great product that gets awesome results for your clients. You have to know you can make a promise, and then your product or your service, and I use those interchangeably, can deliver a result that you promise. Doing what you say you're going to do. So when you have all this enthusiasm, you become less and less and less likely to do what you say you're going to do unless you learn how to contain it. And again, in a little bit, I'm going to talk to you about a really specific and simple technique you can use that I use to contain enthusiasm, to use it to convert that energy of enthusiasm and move the work down the track. So, and then hit the ultimate result and get my clients great results, or, whether it's getting the great result, keeping a promise to my wife or to my kids or to someone in my team, an employee, a contractor, a client, a partner, whatever. So the first is projecting a dream result while avoiding the work that will do it. The other issue is, in the case of projecting the dream result, maybe you're not avoiding the work. Maybe you just don't know what the work is that has to get done. So if you're getting really excited, just remember the first place you want to go is, do I understand fully and clearly what's going to happen to make this result come true? Making a sale is not enough. There's going to be work to be done. Having an idea is not enough. There's going to be work to be done. So you've got to get clear on what the work is. And if you don't know, be willing to ask who can help you out. Who can help out? WHO instead of how. Learning how to do it isn't necessarily your job. It's always good to with your enthusiasm, say, listen, there's areas about this that I don't know, and I'm not going to abdicate responsibility or project a result is going to happen without asking someone who really does know. So just ask, find out, get examples, get proof that this is the work that has to get done, and make sure you have the right people to do it. All right, now the second reason that enthusiasm can kill a business is big talk and pressure on the big result, but little attention to key performance indicators. So without getting into too much about lead and lag, the lag indicators are what's already happened. Your gross revenue share, your number of sales, number of products in the market, how many conversions you're getting, and all that kind of stuff. The lead is what's happening that you can measure every day. How many new clients are you getting in front of? How many leads are you calling? How many offers are you making? How many appointments are you setting? All that kind of stuff, right? How many new products are being developed? How many new ideas are being shared? How much feedback's being collected from your market? We could go on and on. But in the end, you need to know what your performance indicators are, because how you feel and all this enthusiasm could easily mask what's really going on. It's amazing how many business owners call. They say, listen, we really need someone who could come in and help us with our growth strategy, help us make our business more streamlined. Our overhead's gotten out of control and we don't know how it happened. Clients are grinding us on price. We're not seeing the cash flow that we want. I'm just super stressed. We don't want to lose this. I have a client who I've worked with who was used to making $2 million a year in his business. And it happens all the time. One that was making $5 million, and both of them, they're making about half of what they used to be making. And the first thing we looked at is, well, what's the facts? What's the situation? Do we know the key performance indicators? Do we know the numbers? How many new clients you're getting in front of? Are they happy with your products? Do we have any feedback that tells us how many clients are leaving? What's the attrition rate? And as we started to look at those numbers, we realized that this big dream of this client getting new clients, and getting new leads and growing his business, came back to work that had to be done. He wasn't blindsided because the information wasn't there. He didn't look at it. He didn't know, what? Clients aren't happy with our product because it's not getting them the results that they want. We need to do a better job and become more valuable. Now, you'll find I have a video on the best product method. How do you make your product the best in the market? And that solves that problem completely. But if you're focused on getting leads and sales and you're not focused on having the best product, you're kind of putting the cart before the horse. And you can spend an awful lot of money on marketing to put the wrong product into the market and say, why doesn't anyone want to buy it? Why are these clients so cruel as to grind me down on price? It's like, well, your product's actually not that good. It's not what they want. And if they don't want it, people vote with their dollars. And if they don't want it and they're not buying it, then they're probably right that you need to change the product and then come back with something that they do want. And I think we would all agree with that. So again, big talk and pressure without knowing your KPIs. You get this big dream result, and it's going to be awesome. But what's going to have to happen? And what are the numbers telling us? Where are things? Are you getting a number of leads? Are clients happy? All right, the third problem, the third reason enthusiasm kills a business is most business owners are averse to creating consequences. They want to be excited. They want to be positive. They want to be inspired. They want to tell a good story. But you got to have consequences before the major failure, and enthusiasm will mask that. So you've got to be able to say, what are the steps along the way to my ultimate result in business? In my case, I had to look at, how did I blow up the photos so I could draw my cartoons and my caricatures from that sale? There's a step. I had to blow them up. I had to hang them up. I had to schedule time to do my concept sketches in pencil. Then I had to schedule time to get the right Bristol board, transfer those over, and do the ink drawings. Then I had to be able to colorize them. Then I had to be able to mount them and get them reproduced onto stationery. So there's all these steps that I had to take. What are the consequences of not having one or two of the steps done along the way is that you can't get to the next one. So if you have someone on your team, recently, if I look back a couple years ago, I hired someone to help me with LinkedIn. And I wanted to hit a certain goal after 90 days, but I didn't look at, I wanted to see 20 leads or so, and that meant I needed about 7 new leads every month over 3 months to see the 20 leads by the end of the 90 days. So the problem is I didn't create consequences for failing in the first month. So I now had to come up with 20 leads in 2 months, which means that meant I had to get 10 leads per month. And then after the second month, obviously I didn't get the leads because I wasn't looking at the KPIs. I wasn't looking at my information. I was so excited about being on LinkedIn, I lost touch with having abdicated responsibility to somebody else. So you've got to be able to say, what are the consequences of someone on your team, even if it's you, not hitting the consequences, creating massive accountability without letting enthusiasm mask what you're doing. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be speaking on the stage. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have a new book. Oh my gosh, we're going to be opening up in new markets, or we're going to be buying out a competitor, and we're going to have all these new leads. What's the work? All right, so those are the 3 big reasons. Now, what do you do? How do you contain that enthusiasm and turn it into power that moves your train down the track? It's real simple. Oh, good, I just checked. You know what I checked for? Make sure the audio was actually recording, which is a huge improvement over the last time I tried to share this training. Okay, so the 5 things you got to do. First is get really clear. What's the client's best result? What's their best outcome? As soon as you have this enthusiasm, especially if it's for a sale or for an idea, say, okay, what is the best outcome? Write it down. Write down, this is the best outcome. Get real specific. So if the best outcome is a beautiful caricature drawing and a beautiful stationery with caricatures on it, I'm just using this silly little example from back when I was in my teens, but it's the same thing you do in any business at any size. And then you say, okay, number 2, what's the work that has to be done? So break out the steps. What are the steps? How long will it take? Where do I need help? It's basic project management and leadership. Understanding what has to be done, how long it will take. Can you make commitments of deliverables? I used to get so behind the 8 ball because I'd be so excited about a sale, I'd forget that there's work to be done. All right, the third thing is make a plan. What is the plan? Have you communicated the plan to anyone who's going to be involved? What's their role in that plan? And then the 4th thing is schedule it. Write this down. Schedule it with your calendar out, with dates, and meet those dates. And the 5th step is to begin. Begin down the track. Start letting the enthusiasm get you to work instead of getting you on the phone or getting you jumping up and down or getting you celebrating, because the ultimate result that you want needs to go from your excitement about what you did or what you thought of your idea or your breakthrough. It needs to turn into someone else's benefit, someone else's result. And there's someone counting on you to get these results. Someone you love, someone you care about. Whether it's a client or a team member or your husband or your wife, whoever it is, your partner. Enthusiasm is fine, but you got to use it and convert it into the work that gets the ultimate result. Otherwise, ego's the enemy. You can be celebrating something that hasn't come true yet, and you might think you're closer to the final result than you actually are. And if you haven't defined the work that has to get done, it's really tough to build consistent momentum. But when you start to contain that, it's exciting because you can take that enthusiasm and turn it into the first part of the project. Don't just throw the deposit in the bank or the check in the account and lose touch with what it's going to take to get the work done. Do you have the team? Do you have the schedule? Do you know what needs to get done? Have you put your thoughts down? Don't be afraid to think it through. It's like it's amazing how little distinctions, minimal little tweaks in the way that we think take little things and turn them into big things. Like, when's the last time you sat down and asked some questions about how you could focus on what's essential in your business? And I'll tell you this before I wrap up, I hope this was helpful. I hope you do have things to be excited and enthusiastic about, and then that you follow these 5 steps. I've created a training, and it'll be available within the next couple weeks, and I'd be more than happy if you're interested in it to share a link with you. You can email me, nate@theminimalistceo.com. I'll send you a link to the free training. I think it's about 45 minutes or so. I'll double check on that, but I just finished it up. I'm really excited to share it, and it'll show you how you can reduce overhead and stress by up to 90% within 90 days. And it'll also show you how to start paying yourself monthly what you've been making in a year. And it doesn't really matter what business you're in. There's a really interesting series of shifts, 5 shifts, that'll surprise you. The ways that we limit ourselves when we're going after a result, when we're going after a big goal, are astonishing. And in this training, you'll see exactly how you can do it based on what I've done. I've done it. I lived it. I used to make, I remember when I was making, anywhere between $80 and $150 an hour in my marketing firm. And then I made these shifts, and I had $15,000, $16,000 days. Okay, I actually have to insert a correction. I was talking about making $180 to $100, $150 an hour. And I actually remember when I shifted from my agency model to creating even better results for my clients, it wasn't $14,000, $15,000 days. It was $14,000 plus hours in a day. And actually, I remember, I'll never forget the day where I actually did $14,600 and change dollars per hour over the period of 7 hours. And I was like, what? But I was able to help 30 people get a really great result in a very short amount of time. And also, again, I was able to shift the way I think about business and focus on what's essential. So anyways, back to the video. Just minor detail, little edit. I remember the first day that I had a $14,000 and change dollar day, and it wasn't because I had done something miraculous. It's because I was able to step back and ask some tough questions, some big questions, but really good questions, and make some specific shifts about how I was able to get clients better results. Not just about better marketing, not just about clever gimmicks or silver bullets, but actually helping my clients get better results. So I hope you found this video helpful. Again, I'm Nate Lindquist, the Minimalist CEO. I'm really psyched that you're here. I'm glad we have the chance to connect. I'm planning to do 1 or 2 videos every single day, and comment on it if you're seeing this on Facebook, or share it if you would. My Facebook channel, you'll find me at Nate Lindquist on YouTube, and Nate Lindquist Mentor on Facebook. And I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope business is good, and I'll talk to you soon.